believe that the fatal numbers will be reduced in 2015.
State police want to protect drivers with new initiatives to keep the number of fatalities down in 2015.
I think he just died on my arms when I was waiting.
A Northern Kentucky father says his 6-year-old son died from the flu in the waiting room of the ER.
And see how this man stole millions of dollars from his fellow parishioners. Coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. Kentucky State Police have their own New Year's resolution. They want to protect more drivers in 2015.
Police throughout the state dealt with close to a dozen deaths in the 10-day period between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day. Our Kristen Kennedy talked to state police to get a better perspective on 2014's holiday crash count. It's our top story at 5:30.
State police want less families ringing in the new year with tears.
I miss him really bad.
We talked to Sherry Truesdale Holler when she lost her son Christmas weekend.
He loved his kids, he loved his family, he loved everybody, he loved life.
And we talked to Reverend Robert BLYTHE, who lost a loved one New Year's Day.
I call the children of my church my kids, and certainly, Victor, I've lost another of my kids.
Between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, state police records show about a dozen fatalities. That number is close to the lives lost in 2013 during the holiday season.
Just the fact that you have the more vehicles on the road during the holiday season, that's where the increased collisions are coming from.
You can call it a statewide New Year's resolution. Troopers like Paul Blanton are focusing future holiday enforcement efforts on distracted and unrestrained drivers.
We believe if we can get people to slow down, if we can reduce the number of people that are driving impaired and make sure that everyone in the vehicle is wearing their seatbelts, we believe that the fatal numbers will be reduced in 2015.
In Franklin County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
State troopers hope to increase the number of days without a death on Kentucky roads. In 2014, they went 80 days.
Well, from wintry weather to spring-like temperatures, 2015 is just full of all sorts of weather already.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking the wild weather swings that are coming on First Alert Defender.
Yeah, Defender already beginning to line up with some rain across southern Kentucky. We started out the day with a touch of some wintry weather right on cue. Now we get set for a little bit of everything, as you mentioned. Here's how your evening is looking on Defender, as we are indeed tracking some light precipitation across the southern parts of the area. Defender across the Lexington metro, not seeing a whole lot. Yes, skies are threatening out there. Maybe a little mist or some drizzle, but nothing to really write home about. Temperatures are in the 30s, so everything that is now coming from the skies is just going to be in plain old cold rain form into most areas. A little heavier shower on top of the good folks here in Columbia and Adair County. And that's a sign of what is coming in from southwest to northeast, and that moisture around Paducah back into parts of Missouri, the Ozarks, into Arkansas, all of that working its way toward the northeast. So we say buckle up for the wild ride this weekend. I've got everything from 60 and thunderstorms to 20s and snowflakes, all before the weekend is finished. And that leads us into a week, guys, that will feature Arctic air. Coldest temperatures since last February, likely showing up as we go toward next week. 7-day forecast is less than 15 minutes from now.
Thank you, Chris. A northern Kentucky family and his family are grieving tonight after his son died while waiting at the hospital to be treated for the flu.
The boy's father says 6-year-old Mikey Guapa died in the emergency room on December 20th, 3 days after he was diagnosed with the flu. On the 20th, Mikey's dad rushed him to the ER because he was vomiting and his skin felt cold.
I see my son just throw up on me, and I stand up and I was yelling at them, need help, I just need help, somebody look at my son. And finally they decide to take him inside. Well, it was bad. I think he just died on my arms when I was waiting for help.
The Guapa family says they feel as if the receptionist in the ER ignored them. The hospital released this statement saying, quote, as an organization, St. Elizabeth takes protecting the privacy of our patients' protected health information very seriously. 5 other people in Kentucky have also died so far this year from the flu. Right now, the flu is considered widespread in Kentucky, and health officials tell us there is a possibility that the number of people with flu may go up once students return to school next week.
The kids are all over town right now. You put them back in school and they are in a box called a schoolroom and a gymnasium where this stuff is more easily transmitted.
The State Department of Public Health says on average the flu runs its course in about 7 to 10 days.
We're tracking the investigation into a sexual assault case. Lexington police say a woman went to a fire station at Martin Luther King and 3rd Street about 4 a.m. New Year's Day to report she had been raped. Police say it happened as she walked home alone after celebrating the New Year downtown. Firefighters took the victim to the hospital. Police say they do not have many leads right now. Laurel County man facing assault charges for dragging a woman by the hair of her head. Sheriff's deputies arrested Joshua Angel early yesterday morning while responding to a complaint along Walnut Road in London. Police say they found a woman with red marks on her face, arms, and legs. Deputies say Angel allegedly smacked her, shoved her down, and drug her through the house.
State police are looking into what caused a 23-year-old man to crash his car late last night. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Washington County. That's where troopers say Jordan Hayden was killed in a single-vehicle crash near Springfield after midnight. We're told Hayden was driving along Bloomfield Road when he lost control, left the road, and hit a tree. Hayden was pronounced dead at the scene. In Floyd County, a murder case is heading to circuit court. A grand jury indicted Floyd Jr. Sexton, John Tate Maggard, and Jennifer Jernigan for the November shooting death of Bill Russell Collins. Sexton faces a murder charge. Police say he was the gunman. Maggard and Jernigan face complicity to commit murder. Maggard is in jail while Sexton and Jernigan remain on the run. An arraignment date is set for next week. In Breathitt County, a woman faces charges for breaking into cars. Jackson police arrested Amanda Spencer Thursday on theft and drug charges. We're told witnesses say they saw her get out of a pickup truck around the cars at the time of the break-ins. Kentucky River Medical Center security found Spencer visiting a patient, and in the room, police found the stolen items in a garbage bag. Police believe she might be behind another string of thefts.
He was a trusted member of their church community, but the con artist in question used that trust to steal millions of dollars.
We're worried about our money. Is there any way that you could look into this? And the pastor agreed.
Which is when Dan Hoy's investment scam involving fellow churchgoers began to unravel.
A lot of people trusted him. They believed him. He led a Bible study. So what he did was he pitched an investment opportunity to these same people at his church, basically asking them for money.
And friends and family gave their money to Hoy. More than 20 people put up $2 million to invest in Hoy's company, Trilliant.
People that work for large corporations, they had the opportunity through their company to obtain a mortgage, and they would be getting a discounted rate. $100 from the mortgage would also go to the charity of their choice, which was very enticing to the people of the church.
The problem, Hoy was running a scam.
He went on vacations. He purchased very expensive items to include a $10,000 oven. And these people from the church, they truly believed that he used this money for investment purposes.
But investors began asking questions. When some got no answers, they went to their pastor.
The pastor actually stepped in and created what they called a church discipline team to take action and counsel Dan and in attempts to try to get restitution to the individuals.
Postal inspectors say Hoy was so convincing, some parishioners refused to believe he was running a scam.
When I interviewed them and I had told them, you're a victim of an investment scam, they said he's part of the church. We believe that he actually did take our money and he used it in his business, but his business failed.
Postal inspectors say Hoy broke the law and had to be held accountable.
We needed to convince his investors that they were true victims, that it wasn't a situation where it was a business deal that gone bad. He stole their money.
Dan Hoy pled guilty to mail and wire fraud. He will be sentenced next month.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A number of people taking over new roles this weekend in Lexington.
Bill Bryant is talking to the outgoing vice mayor on what she's learned while being in office. It's all in the bottom line.
Good evening. Lexington's mayor, vice mayor, and the city council will be sworn in this weekend in a ceremony paid for through donations. The city's inauguration will be Sunday at 2:30 in the Bluegrass Ballroom at Lexington Center. Mayor Jim Gray becomes the first mayor since 1998 to be sworn in for a second term. Steve Kay will become vice mayor. Kay replaces Linda Gorton, who has served on council for 16 years. The career nurse who became vice mayor says everyday citizens should get involved in local government. She says she learned a lot.
Well, it's a good challenge. You know, there's a lot of egos in politics, and particularly with the people who do seek or aspire to higher office. You know, as a nurse, I learned and was trained to deal with all kinds of people.
Gorton is one of my guests on Kentucky Newsmakers this weekend. We also talk with Madison County's new judge executive, Reagan Taylor, about his plans for the future in that area. Kentucky Newsmakers runs in its entirety Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT. It repeats Sunday morning at 10 on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. Governor Steve Beshear preparing his final State of the Commonwealth address. He'll deliver it next Wednesday evening to a joint session of the General Assembly in Frankfort. The governor is expected to lay out his agenda for lawmakers, likely to include support for a heroin bill and a statewide smoking ban. Senator Harry Reid's tough year has gotten even worse. He fell while exercising at his home in Nevada, broke some ribs and bones in his face. Apparently the exercise equipment he was using broke. He believes he'll be able to return to Washington Monday when he's set to be demoted to minority leader by the incoming majority leader, Mitch McConnell. And the Center for Investigative Reporting is revealing that Kentucky pays $1.4 million a year to 41 jailers across the state in counties without jails. The state requires they be paid set salaries despite having no jail to run. Some also have paid deputies. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Yard waste collection in Lexington is back starting Monday.
We know a lot of people will appreciate that. The city will also offer a public drop-off location for bagged and bundled yard waste and recycled natural Christmas trees. That drop-off is at the old landfill site on Old Frankfort Pike. The city will pick up trees curbside through January 16th. The city had suspended service because most of the staff, or many of the staff, had become sick.